Thousands of crypto investors are moving to Dubai to cash out their crypto tax-free. However, a lot of them are finding themselves in a lot of issues that they had not considered before. So in this video, I'm going to go over the 4 major mistakes that crypto investors make when they come to Dubai to cash out their crypto and exactly how you can avoid them so that you can cash out all your millions in crypto fully tax-free with 0 problems. So the UAE has for now the longest time been positioning itself as the world leader in crypto. They have been aggressively pushing for crypto to be integrated into the whole UAE ecosystem. They have launched a dirham-backed stablecoin, the AE coin. They have also announced state-backed Bitcoin mining operations, and they have been integrating crypto into government services, supporting things like being able to buy real estate with crypto directly, which is, I think, the only place in the world where you can do that, and many other initiatives. And all these things make a lot of people with crypto who come to the UAE think that you can just cash out your crypto, there's not going to be any issues, and they essentially don't pay attention to a lot of the problems that can still occur. Because the crucial thing to understand is that while the government is extremely crypto friendly, not all private institutions are crypto friendly. Specifically, I'm talking about banks, and there are also other issues that can happen. There are a lot of scams that do still occur, that can still occur as much as the area is being regulated and everything like that. So in this video, I just thought I would go over all of the major mistakes that I see being made all the time and go over the best ways to cash out crypto fully, not just legally, but without any problems, so that you can have your crypto, cash it out and not face any issues. And the first major mistake is cashing out too much at once to your bank. So banks are often, as you might be aware, the biggest source of problems when it comes to crypto, because again, while the government is crypto friendly, banks still have to follow their anti-money laundering regulations. They still have their policy, and it is also true while crypto is used mostly for illegitimate purposes, and banks want to make sure that they do not allow money to come to their accounts that has been gotten through ill means. So if you go ahead and you cash out millions and millions of crypto at once to your bank account, understandably that is going to raise some red flags. So there are a few ways to get around this. The most common one is to do it in smaller chunks to essentially not trigger any red flags or anything like that. You can do it to multiple bank accounts. You can choose specific banks that are known to be slightly more crypto friendly. For example, WeO Bank. They actually even now allow you to buy crypto directly from the bank account itself. So you can have less issues like this, but the difficulty with this is that you never really know how much can you do. There's not an exact amount. I know people are going to be asking, okay, how much can I do at once? I don't know. So you can do this, but at the same time, if you have a lot of crypto to cash out, I would also look to other means of actually off-ramping without even necessarily needing to go through banks in the first place. And that is why perhaps the best way to off-ramp crypto in 2026 in Dubai is to actually spend it directly. Most people don't know that you can actually spend crypto directly in Dubai. So whatever purchases you're making, you can just spend crypto instead of spending fiat currency. And the way that you can do this is by, for example, using today's sponsor, Cost. So Cost is essentially a global money app built around stablecoins that lets you hold, move, and spend crypto as if it were normal money. So what you can do is take your stablecoins, deposit them directly from exchanges like Binance or wallets like MetaMask. And what they do is they automatically convert these stablecoins inside of the app so that you can spend them through your Cast card. And in addition to this, you can even earn up to 8% cashback on all of your spending. The way that it works is that you simply create a Cast account, transfer funds there, and once your funds are in the app, Cast gives you a virtual or physical card that works anywhere where Visa is accepted, which means that you can go and buy your groceries, book your flights, your hotels, whatever you are spending, or even purchase Dubai property directly using crypto, which will simply convert to the local currency at checkout. They also give you access to a US bank account without needing any kind of US residency or even to go to the US, which allows you to also deposit USD directly into your Cast account. And if you actually do want to move cash back into the traditional banking system, they also allow payouts to local UAE bank accounts with simply regular bank transfers. And I also heard that pay-ins and on-ramping directly in AED is also coming very, very soon. And another advantage of using a cash card is that they don't enforce artificial spending cap like many other fintech cards do, which is why there are Cast users who are literally buying supercars or literally to buy properties directly with their cards. If you want to try them, you can use my link down below in the description to sign up for a Cast account for completely free. So the second major mistake that crypto investors do in Dubai is that they are not using a regulated exchange. So the crypto space has been regulated more more and more in the past few years. In Dubai, they have a regulatory agency called VARA, and in Abu Dhabi, they have Abu Dhabi Global Market, both of which are constantly regulating crypto companies in the country. So essentially, if you have a company in the UAE that deals with crypto in any kind of way, even indirectly, you need to be regulated by one of these agencies if you want to do it legally. So before you use any kind of exchange, when you come into the UAE, make sure that you look to the list from one of these regulatory agencies and make sure that your exchange is on that list to make sure that it is regulated. It not just makes it obviously legal, but it makes it more easier to use them, because often they'll have things like direct off-ramping to your UAE bank accounts and things like that. You can pay in AED directly. It is much easier for me to use now. For example, OKX, which is what I use, that I can just on-ramp and off-ramp using dirham directly rather than having to do it through USD or something like that, or worse, using one of these peer-to-peer options, which brings us also to mistake number 3, which is using unregulated peer-to-peer or OTC service providers. So there's a lot of companies in Dubai that historically were the way people would off-ramp their crypto, of going to one of these companies who you essentially can transfer your crypto to, and they give you cash in return. Now, those still operate. They are legal in many ways if they are regulated, but a lot of them also are not regulated, and this is also a very easy way to get scammed, as these companies are often simply not regulated and you don't really know who you're dealing with. So if you're going to use a company like this, make sure that you use a legitimate one with a good reputation that is fully regulated. The same applies to using something like peer-to-peer. So if you're using something like the peer-to-peer transfer feature using Binance, this is extremely risky because you never know who you're dealing with on the other side. Obviously, most likely in most cases, it is completely fine. And so all these mistakes so far have been dealing with mistakes in the actual process of cashing out. But what I also wanted to touch on, which is equally as important for the people who come to Dubai to do this tax-free, is to actually make sure that your tax residence has been done properly before you cash out your crypto. So there's a lot of people, especially crypto people, who don't really understand the specific of how tax residency works, how these international tax systems actually operate. So what they will do is that they will simply book a flight to Dubai, maybe they'll get their residence visa and then think, okay, now everything is fine, I'm tax resident in Dubai, I get zero tax. They just cash out their crypto, only to find out that a couple of years down the line, they get audited by their home government, telling them that they actually should pay taxes on all of these gains. And they're like, well, wait a minute, I'm in Dubai, why would I need to pay taxes? But what most people don't realize is that when you are leaving your country, becoming a resident in Dubai to get these tax benefits, it is not enough to just get a residence visa in the UAE. You also need to go through a proper process to exit your home country's tax system before you cash out anything. Because if you don't do this without you realizing it, your home country might still actually consider you a tax resident. Especially if this is a Western country, often, although not always, so you need to check with your country, they will want to see some kind of proof that you are actually exiting the country, that you don't have any ties there. And this is very country specific. So unless you have gone through a process like this, you might actually still be a tax resident back home without even knowing it. So there's a process you need to go through properly, and you need to make sure you actually have tax residence in the UAE, not just residence, before you do your cash out. So residence refers to having the right to live in the country through just having your residency visa, whether it's through company setup or buying property or something like that. However, tax residency requires you to live in the country for at least 90 days, some cases up to 6 months if you don't run a business from the country. So you also need to make sure you're actually tax resident in the country, not just a resident. Now, you don't have to wait until you have spent those 90 days to cash out. We just need to make sure that in the year or years when you do this, that you do actually maintain this tax residence to be fully compliant also on the tax side. So as you can see, there's a lot of considerations that you actually need to have when you're coming to the UAE to cash out crypto. But as long as you keep these things in mind, you don't make these 4 mistakes, you can absolutely simply very easily relocate to the UAE, cash out all of your millions in crypto and be fully tax-free. Although obviously this video is not tax advice, you should always speak to an advisor. And also, if you're looking to relocate to the UAE, I work with a company called Genzone, who have helped more than 1,000 people relocate to the UAE. They specialize also with helping crypto investors specifically. So if you're interested in actually going through this process, you can book a free consultation with them down below in the description. And again, if you want the easiest way to off-ramp crypto in Dubai, I highly recommend checking out Cars. I think it's a really awesome option because whatever money you spend anyway, you can just spend directly in crypto. So you don't need to worry about banks with with off-ramping and things like that. So that will also be linked down below. And with that, if you want to hear now the full process on exactly how you can relocate to Dubai step by step and cash out your crypto tax-free, all the steps in order, how much everything is going to cost and everything like that, I made a full guide for you right here, which you can watch. So watch this video next, and I will see you in the next video.